Hey, everybody, this is Ariel Meredith, the Client Service Director of Business Development at Dental Nachos. And I am here with Joshua Scott, the CEO of Studio 88. Thank you for joining us today, Joshua. So first question is, who are you and what is Studio 88?
Well, hey, Ariel, thanks so much for having me. What's up, Dental Nacho World Nation out there? So glad to be on with you guys. I actually got my chips and my guacamole already.
Oh, awesome. I love it.
I'm going to be snacking maybe while we're talking, but that's probably not good manners, so I might not. It's just a visual prop. Yeah, no, so glad to be here. My name's Josh. I am the owner, CEO of Studio 88, which is, we call ourselves Dentistry Story-Driven Marketing Agency. We have been in this, we're finishing up our 8th year, which seems a little crazy. It's kind of flown by fast, but yeah, I've been in the space for a little while, always been on the marketing side of things. At some point, it was like 8 years ago, I looked around. I've always loved marketing, always had friends that were kind of in that space, and looked around and was like, dental marketing is really bad. Like, it's not good. And I didn't know why either, because I think for me, dentistry, I came into it from the outside. So it's always been, I've always seen it as innovative, inspiring. It's a, gosh, a really beautiful profession of humans serving humans. But yet when you looked at dental marketing, dental websites, you never saw that story being told. It was always very clinical, very cold. Here's all the services. Very matter of fact. And so I was like, why? Why are we doing that? Because when you get into healthcare, it's just like, there is a human on the other side that is looking for, like, they have needs, there's problems, like they're looking for solutions. So why do we go into clinical, like, service kind of robot mode with it? And that really became the reason why we built it, was let's build better marketing, like high-end design, aesthetics, and human language and empathy and all those kinds of things. So yeah.
Awesome. That's so great. And then could you tell us a little more, what is story marketing and why is it so valuable to the dental community?
Yeah. Story marketing is really just like, what makes you unique? Why do patients choose you? What is your story in that community? And I think that was one of the things when we got into it and we began to build customized marketing. The way we kind of approach it is 100% custom. So what that means is, for us, like, if we build a website, the photography, the video is all shot by us. We have full-time photographers, videographers on the team.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, like, we've never built a website with stock photos. And that was from day one. I think that was the biggest problem I saw, was like, why are we using, there's like this one image of this girl smiling, and it would just be all across the country.
On every website.
Yeah. And so, like, if we're going to talk human, that's probably just the basic starting point is, okay, the photography is really us. Like, this is who we are. But even the writing of the sites, the coding, everything starts from blank documents, blank canvases. And because I think if we're going to tell your story, like, it has to start that way. If we're copying and pasting stuff over and then just editing, that's not really you. That's something that a website company has built and adjusted, And so we can call that like custom and semi-custom and all that, but our process is 100% customized to tell your story. And when we got into it, gosh, we would sit down with clients and go, like, and just realize all the amazing stories out there, like why they got into dentistry, why they're serving their community. Their father was a dentist, or they grew up and had a huge, dental need, and somebody solved it, and the confidence that made on their life. And even if it was just, I just want to serve my community and be a part of it. I want to work with people. I want to lead a team. Like, whatever the stories are, they would come out, and it was like, we got to capture that because people identify with it, they connect with it. And so at the end of the day, I think it's actually better marketing because it's true, it's authentic. We're not trying to make something up. But like, if you look at news headlines, it's all that like clickbait stuff, right? Like, let's create a headline like this because it gets more clicks. And you can go that way, but how many times have we gone down that road and been like, oh, you got me. Like, this is not what I was thinking, And you can do that when it's a news story and you're just trying to get clicks for advertising dollars. If you do that in healthcare, it's not going to go very far. So it's like, let's talk about what's true. Let's connect with people on those values. And then when they come into the practice, they're like, oh, this really is true. And you're like, yes.
Yeah. It's almost like they get to an insight of what the practice is like before even going there.
Yeah. And the best thing is like when that story lines up, right? Like they see your Facebook ad, they go to the website, they go into the practice, they meet you, and that storyline stays consistent. Like, I don't know, sometimes we think marketing is this really hard, complicated thing. And so much of it is like, just tell a consistent story and people believe it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. And then, so I feel like telling your story is also a part of your branding. So did you have any good branding tips for people with to help them maybe start to tell their story?
Yeah, for sure. Branding is one of these things where if you ask 10 different marketers to describe branding, you're going to get 10 different answers. It's kind of this weird kind of gray area. Some people think branding is literally just your logo, like your mark and all that. Other people, think of branding in a more wider scale. For us, I think it's some of those key components, definitely your logo, your name, colors that you've chosen. The website, honestly, is a branded piece. But even the way like the landscaping outside is done, creates, it adds to your brand, like it adds to that story. It's all those pieces that patients kind of use to put the story together. So, I think some real basic ones though, on logos, I know a lot of people are stuck with their logo, they're using it. It's kind of a pain to change a logo, but we typically stay away from extracted teeth in logos. And that was kind of one of my other pet peeves from day one of starting this, was like, why are there so many like happy dancing extracted teeth logos out there?
Very true. Very true.
And I don't know, for me, it was just like, this is the wrong message. Like we're extracting a tooth and he's happy, he's dancing, like he's free. And that's our logo. And which is really not, that's kind of like the failure of dentistry though, is like when we get to that point, right? And so many of our clients like don't want to get to that point. They want to save teeth in the mouth. And so, I think your logo is the first part of the story. Like it begins it. It's one of those kind of narrative pieces where people know you're a dentist. So I don't know that you need to put a tooth in the logo. I think you've got an opportunity to start to tell another story.
Yeah, that makes sense. Especially I feel like any other healthcare profession, they don't like put like an eye doctor. There's not like a eyeball just on their logos chilling.
Yeah, just like an eyeball just out there, like where the eyeball belongs. There's only one. There's not two. So I think, I don't know, reevaluating your logo, I think is a key to that. The other probably branding hack I would give you is custom photography. It's such a big deal. And honestly, at the end of the day, the investment into it is one of the least expensive investments you can make into marketing. And whether you use us or find a local photographer, get a custom session done, get a couple hundred high-res images. Now you can update your website, like get all the stock photos out, put those photos up. If you're gonna run like Facebook ads or something like that, now you've got content for that. Your organic social media, a couple hundred images will last you the entire year if you wanted it to. Local magazine or newspaper ad, like use the photo. That stuff, that human face, like that visual, even though I know we talk about speaking human, it's like you typically do that visually. And so photography, even video, is such a huge branding piece.
Yeah, as a consumer, I definitely like when I go on to healthcare providers' website or anyone that I'm going to work with, I always look to meet the team, because I kind of want to see like, what's this team like? Do they look like, are they similar to me, young professionals? It's always good to see and learn about the team members. So I think that professional photos makes a huge difference as well.
Yeah. Do you know, so we see website analytics like all the time, hundreds of practices. And the number one clicked button on a website is meet the team. or
I feel like people want to see who's going to potentially clean their teeth, or they want to see who is going to do their fillings, and just kind of learn a little bit more about them. Because for me, as more of an introvert, I feel like when I see the pictures and I read like their bio, and if there's something that I can connect myself to them, it'll make kind of starting the conversation easier, because it's like, oh, I saw on the website that you like wine. I also like wine. Yeah. And it just, I feel like, creates some kind of comfort as a patient.
Yeah, for sure. It's crazy. I actually think that I call it visual mapping, and patients are trying to find out, like, they're trying to see who, like who's there, the doctor, what they look like, the team, are they happy? They're also like, if you can give them shots of the facility or the practice, like, is included within the photography. That's what patients are trying to do. Like, we're trying to map it. Like what are we getting into? Is this an old residential house that is now dental practice? Is this in a condo medical space? Is this a freestanding building? Are the people happy? And if we can kind of map that out and have a predictable experience, then but if they don't know, then it's like we're walking into a mystery.
Yes, yeah, which I feel like can create more anxiety in already dental offices. Unfortunately, people get anxiety going there. So to ease some of that anxiety before getting in the door is always, I feel like, a good idea. But on the topic of websites, what are some things that really make a great website?
Yeah, it's a good question. Obviously, we talked about photography, and I think that's the quickest hack you can do, just putting those pictures up there. Video right now is huge on websites, and it's definitely, you're getting an SEO advantage. All things being equal, Google is going to rank a site with video higher. So it's not just a good, it's not just like hip and trendy. It's like there's value in it from that aspect. I think video too, there's no better way to establish trust and connection with somebody digitally than with video. And I think, you'd be surprised, like just a video of a doctor or, team members talking about the practice, like, here's what to expect from a first visit with us and how we're going to take care of you. It instantly establishes connection. And so that patient's coming in, like you said, it's less anxiety for sure, but also that in turn equals higher trust. Yeah. And so if you can take the mystery and the anxiety out of it, trust almost instantly just goes up. And so it's even just case acceptance and proposing treatment, it's just a different game when there's been video involved in the relationship leading up to that point. So, that's a big one. And then third, I mean, we all kind of know this, but the mobile first design, in an area gosh, your area is probably 85-90% of people would be searching a dental practice, finding it on a mobile device first.
Yeah, for sure.
Urban areas, just high 80%. So, designing it for a desktop and then converting it over to a phone is just, and those days are way behind us. You need to be designing for this first, and then also making sure it looks beautiful on a website. And so, it needs to be high.
Also feel like with the younger generation, a millennial like myself, some people might not even have a computer at their house because they just have their work computer. So it's why just use it at work? And then I have my portable computer with me at all times. That's my best friend. So that makes so much sense.
It's a really interesting conversation, because I've been having this probably for the past 6 to 8 months. But even if you think about search engine optimization with Google, everybody gets so uptight about that, concerned about that. I need my site to rank #1, and can you guarantee that? And what are we doing and all this? But here's where that conversation is. It's actually like a 5-year-old conversation, because in 2014, before everything flipped to mobile, that conversation was super important. You're searching on your computer, you want your site to come up in the top 3. I totally get it. But now, if you're on a mobile device, and let's say you're in downtown Philly and you search dentist, 2 things are going to happen. #1, Google's going to show you the practices that are closest to you and the ones with the most reviews. So that's how they're sorted them, right? So,
and they come up on a little map too. And you can see on the map, they give you, I think there's probably 10 you can see all of the reviews and like their ratings and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but if you went 5 miles to the east or west or north, you're going to get a different set based on that location and those reviews. So we've kind of gone from this, like, we need to be number one, number two on a desktop, to that's just not the game anymore. And so when people are talking about that, I'm like, so you're talking about a strategy for 20 or 30% of people that are searching on their desktop computer, which is fine, but like 70 to 80% of people are here.
Yeah,
so
totally.
And you can't change your location. So reviews have become so important, and keeping your and then having a website that looks amazing, because they're going to see that, click on it, or call you or whatever, go look at the site real quick. So a lot of times, like, they're finding you, they need reviews, they need a good website, and then they call. So yeah,
that's awesome. Well, you've shared some really great tips with us today. If people wanted to reach out to you to learn more about potentially working with you and finding out more, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, 2 places. If you want to reach out to me, I'd love to hear from you. Say hi, say what's up, ask me any questions. I just always try to help as much as possible, give some consultative advice. I am at Instagram at Joshua Scott, no spaces, all together. If you want to learn more about Studio 88 and kind of get a feel for our work, you can go over to our website at s8e8.com. So letter S, number 8, letter E, number 8.com.
Awesome. And then our team will definitely, if you're watching this on Facebook, our team will drop all of their information in the comments. It was great connecting with you today. Was there anything else you wanted to add in before we hop off?
No, I appreciate it. Guys, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to, like I said, just talk, answer questions, do a phone call, just help evaluate your marketing, give you some next steps. No obligations at all.
Awesome. Well, we'll talk to you later to the Nacho verse, and we hope you have a good rest of your Wednesday.
All right. Thanks so much.